Time.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. I went to okay, before that, sorry.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So I think we should focus on the deliverable assignment model and figure out the best way to calculate the value of the deliverables.
Okay.
So
So can
maybe just
we
change the desired outcome.
is the client deliverable assignment model the same like client potential income session? Client potential income.
I don't understand. So the topic is client potential income, and the desired outcome would be figure out the best way to calculate valuable of deliverables.
Okay. I'm in agreement on that. Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, let me make the packet. Done. Let me look for organize.
So I've been thinking and working a lot on this, and thinking about a a new model
Okay.
where what makes it, you know, a simpler, easier, or faster way to calculate assignment values, right?
Yeah.
Time for breath. Please stop and get
So
ready.
the options
Now
are
inhale.
to
1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
focus on the client fund and then how much money is available for every client priority, right?
Yeah.
So that's like more of the slow way. That's what I was thinking about before. But then this new option I was thinking about, option 2 would be to estimate the, you know, overall percentage of client work for each individual assignment. So if you estimated, so for example, let's take what we're doing now. So right now we're doing client budget and potential income updates, right? So this needs to happen monthly because it happens for every budget. But some months is going to be more work than others, like this month. So the question would be, so if we're going to do the overall client fund, we need to verify all other work and, you know, get percentages for each individual work, including the one we want, right? So that could take a really long time, right?
Yeah.
But with this one, we could just estimate the percentage. So for example, we could say, okay, this is 0.01% of all work, right? And then all you multiply that by is like, you know, times the overall percentage of the client fund, and then that would give you the total value of that particular work assignment. So if you could just estimate
Is
the
that
overall
applying when you are having before you finish the work or after you've done the work? You completed the work.
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about your payment, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm asking if this 0.01% applied to when you are done with the work or not yet done with the work.
I just don't know what you're talking about. We're talking about Co-op 2.0, correct?
Yes.
Time to pause. Please
So-
stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So with Co-op 2.0, there's simply just no payments without completing the work.
Okay.
So,
So
I
what
don't
is this
understand
0.01 represent?
Well, if we're talking about this client budget and potential income updates for what we're doing now. So if we're calculating how do we calculate the value available for the work that we're doing right now, right? Because the work we're doing right now is client work.
Mhm.
So right now we just track the hours, and the hour value goes into our spreadsheet, and then it just spits out the value, right? Based on the work done. So in the new model, that's not going to work. So the question in the new model is what is the value of this work based on the money that's available to get all the work done? So the question would be, okay, one way of doing it is to do the client fund and getting a detailed analysis of every single client and getting every single fund detail approved so that we know the exact percentage within every single thing, right? So if we do option 1, let's say we put this into bus SVG work, right?
Yes.
So let's say there's 30 assignments for Umbus SVG. So we would need to know all 30, estimate the times, and then calculate the percentages of each one, and know the total percentage of fund money available, right? So this would take, I don't know, let's say 30 minutes to 1 hour. So to calculate how much money the value is of this work would take 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, so option 2 would be you just estimate the percentage of total work that is being done. And in this case, we could start with like, I don't know, 0.02, 0.01, I don't know. So then you just take the total money available, and then you multiply it, and then you get the value. So let's say we have $10,000 available. The maximum amount of money we could use would be $2. So 0.02% of 10,000 would be $2. If we had $50,000 available, it would be $10.
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
So
Sorry.
So basically, option number 2, you could just calculate it a lot faster, right? Another way of saying, okay, let's say we're doing the UMCUS fund, or UMCUS / SVG, right?
Yeah.
And let's say we have $15,000 total. And then we say, okay, of the $15,000, UMCUS SVG would be, let's say we have $250 right now that we can confirm. So that $250 would represent about 1.67% of the total money we have available, right?
Yes.
So then you could say of that $250, I don't know, you could do like 3% divided by 250 or whatever, but it would be 1% of the UMCUS budget would go towards this particular cost.
So we indicate the percentage work that is done.
I mean, it's just a different model. It might be a little faster. So it would be like 0.02% of the total value of all of Jurison, right? If we're doing like just Jurison. But then as far as just UMCUS SVG budget, there might be 1% of the total SVG UMCUS budget that's available. Do you understand like the concept, or do you don't get it? It doesn't sound like you understand.
I'm trying to understand. Yeah, I understand when you say estimating the value available, but I don't know based on what now. Let's say now, for the people, is that $3, for example, for everybody in the team? That is why I got confused.
Well, that's not even the full calculation yet. I'm just saying that this is just an example of how you would do it. As far as calculating it, the answer is that this would be all of the money,
Time to pause.
available.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
But we need to do this monthly, so then we would have to multiply by the available funds monthly. So we can cover that next. So we need to talk about the trust percentage funds available. So that's a very important conversation that we can do next.
Yeah.
But the general idea here is that we could easily estimate that there'd be around $3 available for this particular assignment, instead of doing option 1, where it might take us an hour to be able to calculate the value of a single assignment.
Yeah, I get it now.
So we can do this. If we want to do option 1, we can just go into it, start looking at the total value for the overall budget, break down every single assignment. So we would need to know all 30 assignments, the general time that it would take to do each one, and then distribute the money between all the assignments so that we can get all of the work done and move all the work forward, right? So that would be option 1, which would take us 30 minutes to an hour per individual client grouping. Option 2, we could take literally individual priorities, estimate the overall percentage of the total budget available to complete that work for the total amount of work, and then just multiply it to find the estimated amount of money available for that work.
Yeah, I think it sounds good. So where are we getting, like, for example, 250? I think we need first to have the budget for the calculation to be right. Then how can someone estimate the percentage, like 1% AMCAS SVG? Where is this 1% coming from?
It's just an estimate based on all the work that needs to get done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, everything is here is just an estimate, right?
Yeah, I mean, budgets are estimates in general, right? Because you never know exactly how much money we have and exactly how much money we're spending. I mean, we just don't know, so everything's an estimate. So in the context of going through it, I mean, we can go through it. We started going through it yesterday. You know, we would just copy and paste all of the priorities for
Time for breath.
AMCAS
Please stop and
SVG.
get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
We would just calculate that, and then we can break it all down and get the total percentage estimates of each one, and then know. Like, I mean, you know, it's not very hard. I think we even started doing that in our previous notes. If we have the link to our previous notes, so
Let me get the previous note.
I might have them here too. So this was says Sandra was there possibly.
Yes, I mean, I'm not sure if she was there. Yeah, she was there, then they left.
39. Line 39, I put it.
Okay.
So this is what we had here. So we were starting the process for option 1. Okay, so we look at option 1. So this would be example for option 1, right? So for option 1, we have to look at every single assignment and all the work and exactly how much money, and then calculate overall percentage and get the total. It looks like something's missing though from these calculations. Not sure what.
I think last time you said we need to include the estimate. Let me see. Okay, bonuses, we cover a lot.
Oh, I see what's missing. Okay. So it is this. Okay. Oh no. Damn it. Isn't it working? I'm still not getting anything here. It's going to be I-56. Okay. I think we are making some progress now. All right. So so this is what we put together last time.
Yes.
And this still not the assignments, right? This is still missing some details on the assignments. But so you could break this down by
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I think assignment was frequency. When it happened, is it one time?
Yeah, one time versus monthly and everything. Yeah, that part's missing. But the bottom line here is that we could calculate overall like the percentage, right?
Mhm.
So let's say we were looking at this and we were thinking about invoicing. So invoicing, I think we could also there. I think that's correct. So basically, when we're calculating this, we would get that the scope updating and agreements review is 20% of the total value that we're talking about, right?
Yes.
So if it's let's just estimate 20% on scope updating and an agreement. So if you look at scope updating, you have the actual scope and agreement per client. You've got the overall client budget for potential income, and then you also have what I'm talking about is that the actual assignment values, right?
Yes.
So if you think about the assignment values, scope, so maybe we need 10 scopes, client budgets and potential income, we might need 10 of those as well. And for assignment values, we're going to need a lot more, because there's so many more assignments. So maybe there's like, well, we could break it down to priority assignments. So let's say priority assignment groups, priority assignment values, group values, priority assignment group values, right?
Yeah.
So then this would be a total of 30, and this is going to be updated monthly. So that's times at least 12. So you're getting a total of as many as 300 per year, right? So if you take that 20% and you start dividing it by, let's even say 100, you're
Time
getting
to
as
take a
little
break.
as
Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
you're getting as little as 0.2% or 0.5%.
0.02.
0.5%. So I would say anywhere between 0.1 and 0.5% would be the estimated value per individual priority assignment group.
Mhm.
And then we also want to do the actual client budgets, and we would also want to do the scopes and agreements. And so there's just like a lot of work to do here. So the amount of value per actual work group assignment is relatively low. So in this case, if you have $1,000, then you say, okay, it's somewhere between 0.1% and 0.5%. That would be somewhere in the range of $1 to $5. So 250 is actually exactly what I had calculated before. So it was a much faster way to do it, right? Because if I did this estimate on the work, it came out to $250 to $3. So $1 to
Yes.
$5, I think, is a pretty good estimate for the actual value of this work in relationship to the amount of money we have. So if we had $1,000, that would be the value. If we only have $100, then it's even less.
Yeah, the value reduce. Okay, we need to take a break. There's a break.
Right. Take a break. And it's good to know that even though this is like a deliverable, to set a deadline and set all that and have it all organized for the client is certainly a deliverable. It doesn't actually complete the work. It only completes the management, right? So it's a very minor value. Do you see what I'm saying? That there's very, very little value in setting client work income because it's not the actual deliverable. The actual deliverable is the work.
When you complete everything work.
So you're going to spend 500 hours on doing budgets for clients. I mean, that's great and all, but there's just no value in that because the actual work is where the value is. So whether it's like basically, if you think about it, it's saying like, okay, we'll give you $1 or $2 bonus for doing this work because we're being nice. Because really, it's just there's no value at all. Like the only value is in that we actually need to do it because it's really important to do the work. But other than it being important, there's no value in it. Okay.
Okay. Let's continue after break.
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
So are you back?
Yes, I'm back. back to where we left. It was on scope.
So basically what I'm saying is that whether you do option 1 or option 2, it's the same outcome, and you can verify it, right? So it's possible to estimate the percentage and then verify the percentage based on the total client budget and the total amount of value and time for each assignment that's being given, so that we can calculate the actual value in the available funds. Okay, so I think that's all pretty organized and clear. So we can do both options. There's option 1 and option 2. It's just like option 1 is just option 2 is much faster, because you can just ignore, like if you have 5 priorities that we need to prioritize for the work, instead of having to go through hundreds of potential things to calculate every single detailed percentage of all 100 to know the one that you want, you can just quickly estimate the overall percentage of work for that one assignment, and then just immediately start working on it and not having to worry about the other 100 assignments.
Okay, let's go with the option 2 then. We can now go the next. We can do the client outreach cell because we are done with the COPS. Scope. Let's see.
But it allows us to do actual overall priorities. So we can look at priorities. So what we want to do next, let's go back to focus and topics.
Okay.
So what we need is we need to have understanding. So understand, trust, endo, funds, percentages.
Time to pause.
And then
Please stop. Close your
finalize
eyes. Count 1, 2, 3,
calculation
4,
for
5.
available funds.
Open your eyes.
So we need the calculation for the available funds for monthly versus one time, etc., based on frequency. So that was the thing that was missing. So we just need to finalize that, and then we can, after that, so that would be topic 2, and then topic 3 would be to create the priorities list of assignments.
Okay.
For the work. And then after we create the priorities list and we know what our priority assignments are, then we can just go right into calculating the value of each priority and setting the budget. So this would be to finalize the initial client budget and potential income for workers. So we probably want to do like an
We do them all. Okay.
you up first before we get into that. So that would be topic 4. So I don't know if we'll get to topic 4 today. I do need to leave at some point. Let me see how much time I have. Yeah, I should have like 2 more hours. So we'll see how much we can get through this. But I think overall, these are the steps, right? So first, we need to understand the calculations, which we still haven't finalized because we still need to get the monthly and the one time and like the overall funds availability. And then we just get into the work. Create the priorities list, calculate the total value, and then we can start finalizing a budget and start assigning work.
Okay. We can start now. Can I create the tab?
Wait. Topic 3 isn't clear, so let's just change this to that being the desired outcome.
To
And then this
create
going
the
back to, so client potential income is topic 3. And then creating the priorities list. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going away from the client potential income, and now we're going into the trust agreements. Okay.
Okay. So are we into agreement for the topics?
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause, inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
Yeah, we have agreement. I just need 30 seconds.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to read the top.
Okay, I am back.
Okay.
So, are we ready for topic 2?
Yes.
So the main question for topic 2 is, do you understand the idea of the Jurasend fund and the 4%?
Yeah, I think if I could remember when you say the money we should use 4%, not more than 4% every month.
Yes. So that makes sense. You understand?
Yes.
So basically 4% works out to about, let's say, $1,500, maybe a little bit less. And this includes all bills, right? So all of our bills are included. So basically what that means is that we have, we're spending, let's say we're spending $3,000 a month, right? That means we're spending 8%. So we're double the amount. We don't actually know how much money we're spending, right? But we could estimate we're spending around $3,000 because our budget's way over. So we are more like 8% instead of 4%. So we're always spending more than the 4% that we're supposed to be spending. Does that make sense?
Yes. And that's too bad.
So I have a new model that's very, very, very exciting because it will just allow us to have much more flexibility and organize the money in much, much better way. Okay. So let me explain this new model. So do you have any questions so far? Do you understand the general
I
idea?
understand clearly about the Nova, especially 4%. If you have 1,500,
Okay.
you need to be by like 4% of that money.
Yeah. Okay. So basically with the new model, so I'm copying and pasting the new model. And let me like expand this out.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So with the new model, there's the percentages, and then we have the 3 different types of expenses. There's normal HR expenses. There's revenue generation expenses. So this would be revenue generation HR costs. And then we have bills and other expenses. Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, those would be the 3 categories. So if you think about like the multiplier, our current 4x would be like our starting point, our normal. So we call this the 1x multiplier. So our normal 4% of what we're supposed to be doing would be like our normal money assignment. So as we go below 4%, we're getting under our normal. And as we go above 4%, we're getting higher. So basically the idea here is that the new trust agreement for how much money we can spend per month would be a range. And so we're saying that we could spend anywhere from 1% to 10%. But if we're spending 10%, how we spend the money needs to be much, much stricter for what we're allowed to spend the money on. So for example, at 4%, we should be spending a lot of money on grants, potential future income, asset management, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
And then, direct income work that should create income of successful fundraising. So basically at 5%, we should really be starting fundraising. At 6%, there should be some sort of guarantee to be having some sort of income. And then for 7%, basically, if we're not creating quick income possibilities, like it really shouldn't, like none of this should be like normal HR costs, right? So anything above 7%, 8%, 9%, 10%, it's like it needs to be revenue generation, right? Like we can't be spending 8% per month without any revenue. So for 10%, we say that's the maximum once in a lifetime opportunity for major influx of money, huge 100% guarantee life-changing money. I mean, if we're spending up to 10%, that means we only have 10 months, less than a year of value in our budget.
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
So that should be like guaranteed money. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the
So
general
the more,
idea.
the more, the more percentage and X is the more. This is where we should get the money, right? Because I see 5% direct. Yeah. I understand now, Jen.
Yeah. So basically, the idea is to kind of create a model for the types of work based on the types of budget. So let's say we have somewhere between $10,000, $25,000, or maybe a maximum of $50,000, right?
Yeah.
So if these are the ranges at 1%, 1% of 10,000 would be equal to 1% times 10,000. Actually, it's 0.0 would be $100, right? 1% of 25,000 would be $250. 1% of 50,000, $500. Okay.
Yes.
So basically you would take that and you would multiply it by 2, but that's not really going to work. Well, you multiply it by 2, and then you can multiply this by 3, multiply it by 4. So anyways, you could go all the way up, right? So maybe the best way to do this is just saying, okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So this would allow you to have much more value based on spending more and more money in the higher percentages. And you can see how the higher percentages would increase pretty quickly because it is it goes up basically kind of exponentially.
Yeah.
So here you would have 1,000, whereas here would be as much as wait, no, this is not right. So this would be
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
cool. So basically this would be like $2,500, instead of 1,000. So you basically are getting more and more and more based on the calculation that you are doing. The more money we have, the more money we can spend. right? So, and then the idea is if you want to spend more money, it's okay to spend more money, but only to do the essential work that needs to be done based on the percentage of money that we're spending. So if we want to spend more money, we have to be generating more money. If we're generating less money, we have to spend less money. There needs to be an equilibrium around the 4% so that we can actually be functional. Okay?
Okay.
So there's a couple things that are missing here. Quite a lot of things missing as well, actually. So there's like whoops. There's like taxes. I don't see taxes in here yet. Oh no, there's compliance. We could add taxes in there. Compliance, taxes. So it's basically just like, UMGUS internal operations, the vortex, like, tokens, investment, client sales. Like, so these are all things that we still need to add in and kind of figure out what the situation is with assignments and where each assignment fits within the overall percentage and how much money is available within each level and each percent. So this would be part of the calculation that we're calculating. So does that make sense? So this is still not done, but
Yeah.
over time as we go through, every single assignment would fit into one of these multipliers. Does that make sense? So let's take the assignment we're doing right now. We're doing the update of the trust fund endowment, mini endowment, right? Multiplier rate. So this is not a very valuable thing. But so if you look at 1%, 1% is anything. So it's obviously more important than that. So this would be serious administrative work in coordination. So I would say this would fit in the 2%. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because it's serious work, it's coordination, it's not government compliance, it's not taxes. It doesn't directly relate
Time
to
for breath.
our
Please stop and
finances.
get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
You could relate it some to like legality. So we could have a legality, a legal section, legal and legality section. So this is obviously admin work. It's very important, high level executive VA support. So I would say that it possibly could go into the 3% level. But so it's somewhere between 2 and 3%. So maybe put it at the 0.75x. Right. So this would be the trust mini endowment agreement updates, right?
Yes.
And they probably don't happen that often. Maybe like yearly reviews. So it doesn't need like a lot of money because it doesn't happen very often. But anyway, so this would be an example of the work we're doing now that we could say, okay, this is part of the 0.75x, which would be 3 in the 3%. So then if we're doing the calculations for the money available for this particular assignment, we would need to estimate the total percentage, total percentage of work for this particular assignment. And then we would estimate the frequency. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we would go from there. So does that sort of make sense or what?
Yeah. Then here it will be percent. The percentage is 2%.
How do you know it's 2%?
When you look at based on type of the work, 2% is a serial work admin coordination. 0.5x multiplier.
No, but we just said that we're going to do 3x for this.
Oh,
Because it's related to
then
like legal.
frequency is once or what?
So I think we were
Yeah.
talking about doing this annually, right?
Annually, yeah.
So as far as like total percentage of work,
Time
this
to
is a very
pause.
small
Please stop.
percentage.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So we could say like 1 to 2 hours yearly per endo fund trust agreement. So let's say there's 5 total, so that would be 5 to 10 hours per year. So we could estimate our total annual time in funds, but it's also interesting that like the percentages relates to the time. So for example, if you're doing 3%, 3% would be equivalent to 100% divided by 3%, which would be 33 months, I think. Let's take a look. So it would be equal to 1 divided by 0.03. Yeah, so it's 33.33 months. And then we know there's 12 months. So we divide this by 12. So that would be 2.7 years. 2.78 years.
2.78.
Okay, so if we multiply this on how often this is going to be happening, this would be happening 5 to 10 hours per year, but multiply that, let's say 7 hours, right? And so you multiply 7 hours times 2.78 years is going to be a total of 19 hours. So let's estimate and say, okay, in a month we have let's say 1,000 hours per month. So per year, maybe we would need 1,200 hours per year. And then in 2.78 years, we might need as much as 30,000 hours. So if we take 7 hours and we divide that by 30,000 hours, that would give us an overall percentage of 0.02%. So it's around exactly the same amount that we calculated from before. So that sounds correct to me, 0.02%. So now we would just calculate how much money we have. So if we go to our accounting spreadsheet, I think last time we checked, it's around $20,000 total. And then we multiply that by the 0.0%, and that gives us $5.
Yes.
So this $5 represents the value related to frequency and priority and work output and importance. So it's a very, very...
Time to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
So in some ways, it's a very simple calculation, right? But in other ways, the number of variables that are in this calculation is mouth-dropping. Because we are taking literally like 100 different variables from all the different budgets and all the different values and just like condensing it into a single simple calculation. And so it's a very, very powerful number. It's also a very small amount of money. $5 is a very small amount of money. But if you think about what we're doing, this doesn't actually make any money at all. It's so far removed from actually bringing in money. This is just like a contract for potential future work. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And even when it's not then. So it's not particularly valuable, but it's very important and it's high level and it's also, needs to be updated and done multiple times. So we need to do this like 5 times. So $5 per year would be equal to, we do it 5 times, that's going to be like $25. So it would be like $25 to do all of the work for this particular assignment.
Yeah, $25. Yeah.
So from there, the only other aspects of the calculation that are important is that we are calculating the team value. And so the team value includes, the internal operations, the benefits, all that. Then you have the individual bonus, which is part of the bonus payroll. Bonus payroll. And then this is part of the base payroll. And then you also need to consider the executive value and pay as well, especially with this because this is VA work. So something that's VA work should also have executive value. So we need to think about how we distribute
How to
value between team, the bonuses, and the executive value and pay, because we don't necessarily have clarity on that. From there, we would calculate the other variables. Other variables could include percentage completed
It's
by
correct.
deadline. And you can have percentage completed after deadline. So this is more or less all of the calculations we would want to make and understand for this overall value. And then also you could say, okay, we have $25 for a one-time. So I would call this a one-time. So even if we do it yearly, in our perspective, it's one time. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's breakdown.
All right, so let's take a break, and when we come back, we can. This is pretty much done. Then we can go on to. We'll review this one more time, and then we'll go on to the next step.
Okay.
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
I'm back. Are you still on break, Jeff?
Okay, I'm back as well.